Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Miyushi and welcome back to another true crime episode with me, whereby we sit down and then we talk about Namibian cases as well as African cases. As you can tell by the title already, this case is a very heavy one because it involves things such as sexual assault, abuse, as well as death of a minor. If you feel like these are the things that you don't really want to listen to right now, you're more than welcome to click out of the video and I will see you in the next one. Join me as we deep dive into what really happened in Okahandja in 2025. I could imagine a parent's worst nightmare will be losing a child. On the 20th of March 2025, that nightmare became a reality to the parents of Ingrid Maarsdorp, who was murdered in a very gruesome, cruel way. It was horrendous. Ingrid was only 6 years old. She was a grade 0 learner at the school KW von Maries in Okahandja. It's a combined school. The Thursday of the 20th of March 2025, it was a normal day like any other day. Ingrid and her grandmother came to the school. Ingrid's grandmother dropped her off. She said her goodbyes. She kissed her. She watched little Ingrid enter the school gates. When Ingrid's grandmother came back again in the afternoon, 8 hours later, around 1 to 2 p.m., she came back to come pick up Ingrid. She got there. She couldn't find Ingrid. They searched for her all around the school grounds, everywhere where she could possibly be, until they came to the conclusion that Ingrid was not at the school. Ingrid's grandmother decided to inform her parents as well as the authorities because it's getting dark and up to now nobody knows where Ingrid is. It was as though she has vanished into thin air. That same day at around 10 p.m. in the evening, a person who was walking by bridge in Okahandja noticed a body of a girl lying underneath the bridge. Guys, as you can tell by now, I am not really good with Afrikaans, so I'm gonna try my best. It is Verdesdal. This person was walking by the Verdesdal bridge in Okahandja. He got closer. This is when he saw that this girl was not alive. She was deceased. Like a normal, sensible person, he called the authorities and then the authorities immediately came down to the crime scene. When the authorities got there, this is when they saw immediately that this is Ingrid that they were looking for the whole day. Her grandparents and the whole family at large was informed. The day that her body was found, it was unclear as to what was the cause of death. An autopsy had to be done for that so that it can be determined what the cause of death was. Autopsy was performed the next day. It came out that Ingrid was battered, meaning that she was beaten to death. Her cause of death was strangulation. On top of that, they also saw that she showed signs of being sexually assaulted. This became a homicide case. This became a murder case. People knew that there was a person out there who was busy targeting young children. He was, sexually assaulting as well as killing these young girls. While the country was busy processing the death of Ingrid, literally the next month in April, again, it was a Thursday, it was the 24th of April, 2025, another little girl went missing again. Attending the same school as Ingrid. It was similar to the way Ingrid also went missing. She was dropped off by her father. Her name was Roswindis Fabianus. She was only 6 years old and she was also attending KW von Maries combined school in Okahandja. She was dropped off at school by her father. Father said goodbye to his daughter. Unfortunately, that was the last time that he saw his daughter alive. Later that day, there was a bus that was available that was taking these kids home after school. This bus came, it waited until it got late, and then the driver of the bus eventually thought, you know what, maybe Fabiana's parents came by to come pick her up, and the bus went back home. Only to find out later that day that Fabiana's really never made it home. Her parents were looking for her everywhere. Search was conducted. This was the second girl to go missing in a time span of 2 months within 1 year, within one town, within one school. This was crazy. Everybody took this instantly seriously because they haven't forgotten about the death of Ingrid. So they were very much concerned. Everybody took this seriously immediately. Search was conducted that day, the 24th. They did not find anything. The next day, on the 25th of April 2025, a person who was walking through the cemetery, a cemetery which is nearby the school, it's a cemetery nearby. The person was walking through this cemetery, noticed a body of a young girl. Upon close inspection, this is when he saw that this is a body of, a very, very young girl, and she looks to be deceased. Immediately, this person informed the authorities. Police came by. The whole place became a crime scene. Immediately, this is when they identify the body of the girl. This was the body of little Roswindis Fabianus. Everybody could tell that her cause of death was stab wounds. Later, also, a postmortem paper also confirmed that the cause of death was stab wounds. She died from being stabbed, basically. She also showed signs of sexual assault as well, just like Ingrid. Panic was brewing within the town of Okahandja because this is the second girl to go missing within a time span of 1 month in the same town. People were starting to ask questions. Questions that they were starting to ask is, do we have a problem on our hands? Do we have a problem of whereby a person is targeting young girls? Because mind you, these young girls are being abducted literally at the school gates. The school is the one place that you would feel like my child will be safe, but apparently not. It's unclear whether it was a person that the girls knew or maybe the girls were being abducted straight up from the streets, because up to now we don't know who committed these crimes. While the country was breathing and processing the death of Ingrid as well as Fabianus, on the 25th of April 2025. This is literally just hours after the death of Fabianus. Beyoncé and her friends, Beyoncé was only 15 years old. Beyoncé and her friends decided that they are going to go out. Beyoncé was a teenager, and just like all teenagers, she had a lively social life. She would socialize, she would go out with her friends, all that. And on this Friday, she decided that she is going to go out with her friends. They are going to go and get something to eat, and after getting something to eat, they are going to get a few drinks. They ended up at a bar in town. At this bar, while they were busy drinking, they were approached by two men. When they approached Beyoncé and her friends, they decided to start buying Beyoncé and her friends drinks. So basically the drinks just kept on coming. These two strange men kept on paying for them. Witnesses said that when Beyoncé was in this bar with one of these men, the only language the whole night that they were speaking was English. That is why in most of the articles said that the man was an English-speaking man. But they did not specify the race of the person. We don't know whether the person was a white person or the person was a black person. All they said was this person was an English-speaking man, because Beyoncé and this man, the whole night, they were just speaking English and nothing else. They were drinking and having a good time. Around 1 a.m. that evening, Beyoncé decided that she is going to go to the bathroom. Went to the bathroom. She stood up and she went to the bathroom. From the bathroom, she decided to go home. She told her friends that, you know what, guys, I'm just gonna go home. She had too much to drink, she was tired, she wanted to rest, and she decided to go home. When she left to go home, she did not leave alone. Around 1 a.m., Beyoncé left the bar with the English-speaking man that was buying her drinks the whole night. Beyoncé left with this man. The next day, the 26th of April 2025, people are looking for Beyoncé. Friends are trying to get through to her, but her phone is not going through. Nobody is able to get through to her. That same day, around the 5 Rand informal settlement in Okahandja, around 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon, a person who was passing by in the bushes noticed a body in the bushes. Upon close inspection, he saw that this is the body of a young girl, and this girl seems to be deceased. He immediately called the authorities, and then the authorities came to the crime scene. When the police came to the crime scene, one of the things that they noticed immediately was the fact that Beyoncé was half nude, meaning that she had on a black top, but then from the waist down, she didn't have anything on. For the police officers, this is a clear indication of a possibility that maybe she was also sexually assaulted. Because Beyoncé was murdered, and it was also confirmed that she was also sexually assaulted, just like the other previous girls as well. When the news of Beyoncé's death broke, the whole country was enraged. This person was going around targeting the most vulnerable people in our society. This person was going around targeting children. Children have no fighting chance. You cannot kidnap a 4-year-old child and expect the child to defend themselves. Half of the time, this child doesn't even know what is going on. The whole community was angry. People came together and then they put on protests. It was peaceful. It was a peaceful protest all over the country where people were protesting they wanted justice, basically. They wanted this killer or killers to be caught, and they were so tired this case is going to go cold as well. Our country has a problem with cases going cold. Cases are not being solved. The whole country was protesting for that as well, because they felt like the authorities were not doing much to try and solve these cases. For me personally, as a citizen, I have questions as well. And one of these questions that I have is, what do you mean a case is going cold while we literally have witnesses who saw Beyoncé leaving that night with that English speaking man? This whole time Beyoncé was in this bar drinking. She was in this bar drinking with this English speaking man. So you're telling me that nobody knew how he looked like? Nobody is able to even come up with a sketch just to show how this man looked like, so that you can paste these pictures all over media so that people can come through if they have seen these people? This is what happened between the months of March and April 2025. It was a very gloomy period for the Namibian people. When a mother cries, the whole world cries with her. And the parents of Ingrid Fabianus and Beyoncé cried. We all cried with them as well. Losing a child is probably one of those things that a parent will never ever heal from. We will never sit here and say that we understand, because nobody truly understands the pain of losing a loved one. That's deep. That's really deep. The case is still cold. It's open and it's still not solved. There were suspects. There were 11 suspects. There was also 11 samples of DNA that were taken from all these suspects. All these suspects were ruled out simply because none of the DNA linked them to the crime. So basically, as we are sitting here, we are sitting with nothing. I can't believe that nobody knows nothing. Like, I refuse to believe that. But with that, I would like to say thank you so much for joining me once again, and for coming back, and for watching and supporting and showing love to my channel. My channel is growing so much. I really love that for me. I really love that for me so much. Yeah, I will see you in the next video. Please do not forget to tell me what you think. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me, what do you think? What do you think happened? What do you think should happen? What do you think we can do? What do you think we cannot do? As per usual, stay safe, stay vigilant. I am going to see you in my next one. Bye.